Hi everybody, Leah here with your weekly card reading starting Monday the 13th of November 2023. This is the month of spring cleaning your life, and so I hope you've been doing that. If you haven't, there's still time to get that done before we go in to the final month of the year. And it's always good to start the new year off with a fresh start, with a clean slate, and so you're really wanting to work towards that at this point of the year if you haven't already. Although I'd say if you follow this page, you probably have been doing that already. Okay, so the start of the week we have the Justice card, we have New Beginnings, and we have the Ten of Earth. This is really, really nice. Now with the daily cards, with the Five Swords there, it does feel like you've completed something, you've come out on top. And while in the daily cards it feels like you might be struggling a bit with this outcome, even though it was fair and just and in your favor, it's like you're just not sure how you feel about that. It's quite often, you know, when you're a good person, when you have been fighting for something and you get what is rightfully yours, you don't feel good about it because then you feel bad for the other person or anyone else involved. So I feel like with this card here, you're being reminded that if it is fair and equitable, then it's okay. So just sit with that. Don't sort of make any rash decisions straight away. Really allow yourself to sit with that and recognize that it is what has been owed to you, what you're deserving of, and allow yourself to move on from that now, to let that past go, to allow this new beginning to come through and to enjoy your life. This is what this fight has been for. It is so that you could move on and start afresh and just live the life that you want to live. And so don't complete the process and then go straight back into something that you're going to then later go, oh my God, why did I do that? So yes, you are a good person, but that does not mean you have to be a pushover and not get what is rightfully yours. So just allow yourself to sit with that until you can be okay with it and move on. So the middle of the week, we have the Three of Michael, we have the Breakthroughs card, and we have the Five of Fire. And again, this fits in with your daily cards that, you know, there is something you have to give up from the past that, you know, sometimes, and when you've been fighting for a long time, it's like you just have to recognize now your patterns in that, how you have held on to that, contributed to that, allowed that to happen, whatever it is for you. And then just make that decision that it's no longer going to affect your life. You're not keeping that in your life anymore. So you really are having a victory here, that you are releasing something from your past that you don't need anymore. And I don't feel like this is anything like that's happened right this second. I feel like this has sort of been a long time coming. And while there can be conflict with others around this, you don't actually have to engage in that. And this might be where that breakthrough comes in, that you recognize actually you're no longer part of my life, or you no longer have this control over my life, and actually I don't need to engage myself in this conflict. And so it really allows you to look at this new way of being, this new way of living your life that has removed that from it. So at the end of the week, we have King of Ariel, we have the Healing card, and we have the Magician card. So you're ending the week really well, and this is reflected again in your daily cards. So you're making changes, and it feels like you're perhaps putting things into place, you know, financially to build a solid foundation. It might be that you're investing, or you're, you know, purchasing a property. It might be that you've opened, you know, a high interest savings account, something like that. But it does feel like you're really starting to work out, okay, all of that's behind me. This is where I'm at now. What do I want to do with that? And so you're starting to put things in place so that you will be looked after in later life. Now that Healing card is there. So not everything is just, okay, that's done, I'm moving on, I'm great and I'm happy. You know, you might need to still do some healing around this. There's probably a lot of hurt and resentment. And once sort of, it almost feels like there's legal matters being resolved. But whatever it is, it might be just, you know, leaving a job, or, you know, ending a contract, it feels like. But if you, even though that's the right thing for you and it feels good, there's still a lot of hurt can be pent up from the past, and it has you feeling, you know, just sad maybe. And so it's just finding ways to process that. So, you know, if you need to, look at energy healing, look at tapping, just find a way that you can process this and move on from it, because you've got the Magician card here. This is your new beginning. You are ready. You can have the life that you want. And the only way really to have that completely is to let go of any of that baggage from the past. And so while it feels like you've done sort of the physical action of getting rid of the past, some of that emotional stuff might remain. And so it's just allowing yourself to heal from that in whatever way feels best for you. The cards from my healing cards for this week are freedom and letting go, which fit in beautifully with this. You have to let go of the past to have the freedom of the future. The essential oil for this week is Airx, and this is the oil of discerning. And so this really helps you to reflect on how you got to where you are. How did you get into this situation? You know, and looking at those, are there traits of yours? Was it, you know, circumstance? How did that kind of come about? And then evaluating how you want to not avoid that in the past, but just not repeat anything that you are now seeing as perhaps a mistake or not the best course of action. Looking at ways that you can really understand that so you don't repeat it again. And then Airx takes it to another level where it helps you to really connect to your intuition again. Most likely, if there's been these changes in your life that haven't been great or happy, you've been cut off from your intuition. So this can help you to reconnect to that, to really trust that inner knowing and really reinforce your connection with divine. Because if you have that in place, even if things aren't going well on the surface, it's leading you somewhere, and you can trust in that and be okay with that. And the card from the Spirit Oracle for this week says, you are entering a time of great love and peace. Be patient and allow the current storm to clear. There are no more wounds, only love predicted for the future. So you're moving on. This is really good. And you just have to allow yourself to do that. Allow yourself to have the joy and the fun and the excitement and the love in your life that you most definitely deserve. But the only way to do that is to let go of the past. So I hope that helps. I'll see you next week. Bye.